The Haelor Empire, a vast and ruthless galactic force, had never once met a species capable of challenging their supremacy. Their fleets, composed of colossal warships and swarming legions of alien warriors, had crushed entire civilizations across countless star systems. They had long believed themselves to be invincible until the fateful day they encountered a human vessel in the depths of the galaxy. The ship was called the Perseverance, a small human transport vessel barely able to hold a handful of crew members and a cargo of precious resources. Its design was unremarkable, nothing compared to the sleek, technologically advanced warships of the Haelor. To the Haelor fleet, the sight of the human vessel was nothing more than an insignificant blip on their scanners. "Target the human vessel. Annihilate it immediately," ordered the Haelor fleet commander, Zorath, as he sat in his command chair aboard the massive Nirak, a ship of unimaginable power. His alien fingers danced across the holographic controls with cold efficiency. "Understood, Commander. The human ship will be reduced to dust," came the confident reply from the weapons officer, his voice dripping with disdain for the insignificant human presence in this part of the galaxy. Zorath watched as their warships surged forward, engines glowing bright as they moved into position. The Perseverance was barely a speck against the backdrop of a distant star, but the Haelor fleet would make quick work of it. They had done so countless times before, but this time something was different. On board the Perseverance, Captain Emily Shaw stood in the command center, watching the Haelor fleet approach on her screens. She had heard the rumors, stories of the Haelor Empire's overwhelming strength, of how they had decimated entire species with no mercy. She had heard how they never lost a battle, how no one stood a chance. Yet she didn't flinch. The crew of the Perseverance was a mix of seasoned soldiers and engineers, handpicked from the best the human race had to offer. They had trained for years, not just to survive the brutal galaxy, but to fight back. Against all odds, they had survived the many dangers of deep space, pirates, raiders, and cosmic anomalies. But this was different. This was the Haelor Empire. "Captain, the Haelor fleet is locking on to us. Their weapons are charging," reported Lieutenant Jackson, his voice steady despite the tension in the air. Emily's eyes narrowed, her hand gripping the armrest of her chair. "We don't run. We never have. And we never will," she said, her voice low but firm. "All hands, brace for impact." The bridge crew prepared themselves, but the Perseverance was no ordinary ship. It may have seemed like a simple transport vessel to the untrained eye, but under its unassuming exterior, it was a masterpiece of human engineering. Years of innovation and design had gone into making it not only fast and stealthy, but equipped with experimental technologies that the Haelor had never encountered. "We've activated the phase shift generator," said Dr. Ellie Carter, the ship's chief engineer. "It's ready to deploy, Captain." Emily nodded. "Do it. We need to get close before they fire." In a matter of seconds, the Haelor fleet opened fire. Laser blasts, ion cannons, and plasma bursts rained down on the Perseverance, each shot a deadly attempt to obliterate the vessel. But the Perseverance didn't flinch. It vanished in the blink of an eye, as if the universe itself had swallowed it whole. The Haelor fleet paused, confused. Zorath's eyes widened. What happened? They disappeared. "Sir, the human ship?" "It's gone," said the tactical officer, scanning the area in disbelief. "It's gone." Emily's voice came through the Haelor fleet's communication channels, calm and confident. "You made a mistake, Zorath. You underestimated humanity." The Perseverance reappeared behind the Haelor flagship, Nirak, a sleek and deadly predator stalking its prey. In that moment, the Haelor commanders realized that their calculations had been wrong. The humans weren't just prey, they were a threat. Zorath's command chair shook as the Nirak rocked from a sudden blast. The Perseverance had fired a concentrated energy burst, one capable of damaging even the largest of ships. The Nirak's shields flared, but they weren't enough to absorb the full brunt of the attack. "Return fire. All ships, target the human vessel," Zorath screamed. But the Perseverance was already on the move, weaving through space with impossible agility. Human engineering, combined with their innovative use of the phase shift generator, allowed them to slip in and out of combat with perfect timing. Every Haelor shot that should have destroyed the ship missed by mere inches. Captain Shaw's eyes gleamed as she watched the chaos unfold. They think they can beat us with brute force, but that's not how we fight. She pressed a button on her console, and a series of loud beeps echoed through the bridge. Phase shift, 90% charge. Get ready to deploy the final maneuver. Outside, the Haelor fleet continued to unleash wave after wave of destructive fire. But every time they thought they had the human vessel cornered, it slipped away, too fast, too unpredictable. "Now, Lieutenant," Emily commanded. Lieutenant Jackson pressed a button. The phase shift generator hummed to life, creating a distortion field that bent spacetime around the Perseverance. In a flash, the ship appeared at the heart of the Haelor fleet. The Haelor ships, caught in the chaos, attempted to reorient themselves, but it was too late. The human vessel unleashed its final assault. A series of piercing energy pulses, each one targeted with precision at the Haelor ship's most vulnerable points. One by one, the Haelor warships began to fall, their shields crumbling under the onslaught. Zorath's eyes widened in disbelief. Impossible? How can they? The Perseverance didn't stop. It didn't hesitate. The humans, once underestimated, now showed the full strength of their resolve, their ingenuity, and their will to survive. As the final Haelor warship exploded in a burst of flame and debris, the Perseverance hovered in the center of the battlefield victorious. The Haelor Empire, in all its might, had made a grave mistake. Emily Shaw stood tall as she gazed at the wreckage of the Haelor fleet. "Remember this day, Zorath. You made the mistake of underestimating humanity, and now you've learned that we fight until the very end." The Perseverance turned and sped away, leaving behind a galaxy forever changed by the audacity of one human ship.